Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Video footage has surfaced from the International Space Station just a few hours ago of what appears to be a large object diving towards the sun, has the characteristics of a comet. This still image was sent to me by CS. He noticed it on the ISS Live Feed as it was coming around the daylight side of the Earth. As the sun was coming up over the horizon, this was in the sky. We're going to take a closer look at the video footage of that extraordinary object here in just a moment that does appear to be a large comet. I went over to the NASA JPL and I looked up 15P Finlay, which is supposed to be a visible comet right now, but not necessarily that bright. This one here is known as Palomar 2021 NF. I could not pull up any orbital diagrams on either one of those comets. Went over to the stereo A, looking at this wide field of view, and in the past I've been able to find comets over here as well. Nothing showing up over there. Went over to the Soho LASCO C3. This is a wide field of view from July 4th all the way up to July 7th. There's a couple of images from July 7th, but not that many. But as you can see, not anything showing up over here either so far at the Soho LASCO C3. Again, this is the wide field of view, unless this object is coming in from a different direction. I went over to spaceweather.com looking at the near-Earth object list. There were 3 NEOs that went past the Earth safely yesterday on July 6th. There aren't any scheduled for today. There is one tomorrow, passing by at 6 LD, only 17 meters wide, not very big at all. The object that you're going to see in this video footage looks to be pretty big. In fact, we'll get to the video footage right now. You can watch the entire video in its entirety, the full field of view, at the link down below in the description box. This one here I zoomed in on once it becomes visible as it comes up over the horizon. July 6th of 2021. Watch down here. You're going to see a long tail start to become visible in the camera's field of view. I zoom in really close to take a decent look at this thing, and it appears to be a comet. That's the first impression you get when you see this thing. It has a very long tail that looks like it's being influenced by solar wind. Obviously, the sun's down here. This is diving towards the sun. Pretty good size, if you ask me. That's not a small sun-diving comet by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's an NEO like a classic asteroid. They don't normally have big, long tails like a comet would have. This looks like a classic comet. If that's a lens flare, it looks just like a comet. I don't think it's any type of lens flare because it stays in the field of view for over 3 minutes. And typically a lens flare will disappear in a few seconds, you know. This looks like a comet. It looks like a classic large comet diving into the inner solar system. I know there's one coming in, but it's not scheduled to come in for another like 9 or 10 years. One that's 62 miles wide. I don't think that's this one here. This one looks like a stray that came in out of nowhere. Pretty good size. Don't know what we've got going on here, guys. And again, this video footage is fresh, just a few hours old. Picked up by the International Space Station, making one of its many rounds above planet Earth. This showed up in the field of view. How incredible is that? Large comet diving into the solar system. At least that's what it looks like to me. And as you can see, the video is getting brighter and brighter as the sun is becoming more obvious in the field of view. It's still there. Got a long, impressive tail. The head of this thing looks pretty good size. That's not a small comet if you ask me. That's pretty good size. And it should be showing up over at the Soho, over at the stereo, I would think, sometime soon. And you can see now it's starting to fade just a little bit as the light from the sun is starting to dominate the field of view, and then eventually it will slowly disappear. If it were some sort of a weird lens flare, it would already be gone. It wouldn't be here getting brighter. The head of this thing's getting brighter right now. The tail will start to fade first, and then the head of the comet, which I think that's what it is, will fade last as the sunlight starts to dominate the camera, and you can see it slowly did. This next segment is of the entire field of view. What I did is attached this video down below in the description box if you want to check it out. You can see it start to come up over the horizon right down here as the space station is making its way towards the daylight side of planet Earth. There's the tail right there starting to reveal itself, and then it comes up just like you saw in the video I just showed you in a highly zoomed in format. You can watch this video here in its entirety. Once again, it's linked below down in the description box, and it does look like a classic comet diving into the inner solar system. The tail is created and entirely influenced by the solar wind of the sun, and that's what it appears to be doing right now. The solar wind is influencing the tail of the comet, and it looks like a classic comet. Pretty good size, too, to be honest. I don't think that's a classic sun-diving comet that we see every once in a while over at the SOHO LASCO C3. Sometimes those show up on the LASCO C2 as well. Pretty good size object barreling towards the sun right now as I do this video. You can watch this full field of view in a video I have linked below down in the description box if you like. But what an incredible view from the International Space Station. Coming over here to the website, quick look at the Schumann resonance. You can see a pretty large spike. In fact, a series of spikes in the Schumann in the past 12 hours. Right now, origin's unknown as there's not a whole lot of solar activity going on. No incoming CMEs and no Earth-facing sunspots or coronal holes. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Once again, a little bit of earthquake activity scattered out around the supervolcano being picked up on these seismographs that monitor the caldera. Couple there at Little West Thumb, one or two over here at Lake Butte. Have an absence of data over at Old Faithful, which is kind of rare to go on this long. The last 3 days now, there hasn't been any data coming from Old Faithful other than a couple of brief small earthquake signatures. Other than that, it's been blank. More than likely, it's a mechanical glitch. Northwestern quadrant, busy as usual. This is what it's looked like now for the past several weeks. And remember, that's the place where the large 7.3 magnitude earthquake occurred near Hebgen Lake. So once again, guys, we have a large object diving towards the sun that was picked up by the International Space Station live cam just a few hours ago. To me, it looks like a large comet diving towards the sun right now as I do this video. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.